Oh my gosh. What a banger of a film. Okay, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Wadjda by Haf Al Mansour. Don't know how to say it. Sorry for all of these names. Starring Wad Muhammad and Reem Abdullah, the child star and the mother, respectively. Came out in 2012, and a short synopsis of the movie is a young girl in Saudi Arabia wants a bike and tries to get a bike. Um, what an outstanding movie, outstanding movie, really something special. I cannot, genuinely one of my favorite films. um I think before we get too deep into it, I just want to take a comment on the cinematography. I think the way this film was filmed was really interesting, because I think in Western cinema, especially now, editing and zooms and all this fancy stuff and CGI, it's so prominent. And don't get me wrong, you can make like a beautiful piece of artwork like that. But this film, with its primary use of wide shots and its close ups being, very natural and from a view that a person might be able to obtain, I just fantastic. Like, it makes you really feel like you're sitting there. You're with the people in this movie as a witness to watch that experience. So the young girl, Wadjda, wants to buy a bike, and so she competes in her school's competition reciting, like, not the Bible, but like the Quran and their religious scripture. And she was like a naughty girl, and she always got into trouble, but this was like her new leaf, and so all the school was like praising her for it. But of course, at the end, the only reason she was doing it was because she wanted to raise money so she could buy a bike. And right here, that whole plot, basically, of her doing everything right and doing everything she's told, and then at the end she doesn't even get the money, and they still, shame her, even though she did all the things she was supposed to, just for wanting to be herself, just for wanting to ride a bike and experience the life in the way she thought fit. And it's this sad reality it brings up of how society kind of, the way society's structured, even if you do anything right, that doesn't mean there's going to be change, because change comes from those in power. And that, not saying she didn't make differences, because her tenacity and want for that bike broke through to people in their hearts, especially her mother, who was in the same situation of always being the perfect wife to her husband and doing all the things that she was told that she should do growing up, because if you do this, you're going to get what you want. If you do this, you're going to get your husband. And then, of course, the husband leaves and marries another woman. And that moment, the mom realizes what, you know, is important to her, and kind of has that whole reality crash in that even if she does everything right, that doesn't mean things are going to go the way she wants, because at the end of the day, it's kind of society's rule. And so she cuts her hair like she had always wanted to, but she had to keep it long for her husband. So she cuts her hair and she buys Wadjda the bike at the end of the movie, kind of showing how both of them are living in that same society where you're supposed to be something. And if you do that, everything's going to be fine, but it's not, because you're not going to get what you want. If you do what they want, then you'll get what they want. Um, and that just overall, like, societal commentary isn't just for like Saudi Arabia, it's here too. Like, it's everywhere with people in power. Like, it's everywhere. And it's just a gorgeous movie, and the acting was fantastic. Like, Washta was like just an amazing actor, and her relationship with the neighbor boy, and just that real innocence, and like just a real child doing things a child would do. It's so natural, it's so candid, it's so organic. And all the effort the director put in to have an all Saudi Arabian cast to do it all in Saudi Arabia, it's just, you can see that. You see that this is that life. It's like you get a picture and a snapshot into the homes of a different culture you maybe never get to experience. And again, the way it was filmed and the pacing of the movie was so amazing, and the acting was just like, it was insane. Like, the whole time there was not a moment in which I was broken out of the spell. Like, I was there. It was just beautiful, and it was a wonderful commentary. And at the end, that hope and that wonder and that happiness and that trust that built between the mother and Wadjda was just, it's just wonderful. It's just beautiful. It's an amazing movie. I would watch it again. The pacing, I really cannot get over how well it was paced, and the progression. And I feel like definitely movies where, you know, a person is working towards a goal, it can kind of feel like one track. Like oh, kids trying to win talent show, and it's all about the talent show, and it feels one track. But this, like, I didn't even realize that was the main plot in a good way. Like, that she was working up for the talent show, because everything else, all the other plots were still happening, and all the rest of her life was still happening. I felt like I was just there with her. It wasn't just, oh, Wash is trying to win the scripture contest. It was Watch's life. And I thought it was beautiful. And I would rate this movie 100% 5 out of 5 stars. Like, it just amazing. Genuinely one of my new favorite movies. I'm gonna watch it again. It might become like something I just put on the background. Really awesome. Beautifully written, beautifully shot, and just overall amazing. 5 out of 5 stars.